Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving into a whirlwind of deception, betrayal, and high-stakes drama in Port Charles. Tensions are rising, secrets are unraveling, and some characters are teetering on the edge of life-changing decisions. Let's break down everything that's happening. Nina Reeves and Drew Quartermaine's tense standoff. A battle of wills. Nina Reeves finds herself standing in Drew Quartermaine's home, but the atmosphere is anything but welcoming. The tension in the air is thick enough to cut with a knife, and the barely veiled hostility in Drew's eyes makes it clear that her presence is far from appreciated. Drew, never one to mince words, leans against the table, arms crossed, staring Nina down. His voice is firm, almost warning, "You either get on board, or you risk losing Willow Corinthos completely." The words hit Nina like a punch to the gut. It's not just a suggestion, it's a threat. A carefully placed ultimatum meant to corner her into submission. But Nina Reeves is not a woman who bows easily. She squares her shoulders, taking a deep breath before responding. "And what exactly do you mean by that, Drew? Are you suggesting that you have the power to take my daughter away from me?" Drew smirks slightly, shaking his head. "Not me. But if you keep fighting every decision Michael and Willow make, you're going to push them right into a future where you don't exist." That's the real dagger to the heart. Nina had fought so hard for a place in Willow's life, even when the odds were stacked against her. But Drew is playing a different kind of game, one where control and influence matter just as much as blood ties. He wants to convince Willow and Michael to move in with him, and he knows Nina is against it. But does Drew have an even bigger plan? Could he be hinting at something far more sinister? After all, he has information that could change everything. He could twist the narrative, imply that he and Nina had once been involved, or make her look untrustworthy in Willow's eyes. And the worst part? Nina can't be sure whether he'd actually go that far. Trina Robinson and Kai Taylor's unexpected chemistry, a leap of faith on the other side of town. Trina Robinson meets Kai Taylor at a quiet cafe, her heart hammering just a little faster than usual. She doesn't know why she agreed to meet him, maybe curiosity, maybe something more. Kai had called her, asking to meet up, and when she'd arrived, his face had lit up with relief, like he hadn't been entirely sure she'd show. She slides into the seat across from him and teases lightly, "See what happens when you take a chance?" Kai chuckles, shaking his head. "I wasn't sure you'd actually come." "Neither was I," Trina admits with a smirk. Just earlier, she had told Ava Jerome that she and Kai weren't going anywhere, that they were just friends. But the way Kai is looking at her now, with an almost hesitant kind of admiration, makes her wonder if she was wrong. Ava had seen something between them, even when Trina herself hadn't. And now, sitting across from Kai, there's a shift, a subtle but undeniable pull, as if something new is beginning to bloom between them. Could it be that Trina was holding herself back out of fear? Fear of falling, fear of change, fear of stepping into something uncertain? But life is about taking risks, isn't it? And maybe, just maybe, she's ready to take one now. Jordan Ashford and Portia Robinson, can Jason really be guilty? Over at General Hospital, Jordan Ashford and Portia Robinson sit down for a coffee break, but their conversation is far from lighthearted. Jordan exhales sharply, shaking her head. "I don't know what to believe anymore, Portia. The idea of Jason Morgan being responsible for Cyrus Renault's disappearance just doesn't sit right with me." Portia sips her coffee, her expression more skeptical. "Why? You don't think Jason's capable of something like this?" Jordan leans forward, her voice lowering. "That's not it. It's just, something doesn't add up. We're talking about a man who's been forced into impossible situations before. When he first came back to town, he was blackmailed by John Jagger Cates into working with the FBI. And now, just when he's free from that, he suddenly gets framed for Cyrus' disappearance? It's too convenient. Portia crosses her arms. Maybe. Or maybe Jason's just as dangerous as people say he is. But Jordan isn't so sure. And if there's one thing she's learned over the years, it's that in Port Charles, the truth is rarely as simple as it seems. Brad Cooper's debt, Selena Wu's cryptic promise at an upscale restaurant. Brad Cooper sits across from his formidable aunt, Selena Wu, looking noticeably anxious. "I just need a little more time," he says, his voice almost pleading. Selena stirs her tea, her expression unreadable. "Time is a luxury you don't have, Bradley." Brad swallows hard. He's been struggling to escape the shadow of his past, trying to build a legitimate life at General Hospital, but the weight of his debts is crushing him. "What do you want me to do?" he asks hesitantly. Selena's lips curve into a knowing smile. "Don't worry. One way or another, your debt will be handled." And that's what scares him the most. Carly Spencer versus Jack Brennan, the fight for Jason's freedom. Carly Spencer storms into Jack Brennan's office, slamming the door behind her. "If this is a frame, it has to stop," she demands. Brennan, looking mildly surprised, leans back in his chair. "Carly, I don't know what you're talking about." Carly glares at him, fire in her eyes. "Jason is being accused of something he didn't do, and I know damn well that somebody is pulling the strings behind the scenes. If you know anything, you'd better start talking." Brennan hesitates for just a second, just long enough for Carly to see it. "You do know something," she accuses. "I can't discuss this." "Like hell you can't." Brennan sighs. "Look, Carly, if Jason's being framed, it's coming from higher up than you think." Carly's blood runs cold. "Then tell me who's pulling the strings." But Brennan just shakes his head. "Trust me, Carly. You don't want to know." Final thoughts, what happens next? Port Charles is on the brink of chaos, with Jason Morgan's fate hanging in the balance, Carly fighting to uncover the truth, and Nina battling for her place in Willow's life. Meanwhile, Trina and Kai are on the edge of something new. Selena Wu is playing her own dangerous game, and secrets are lurking in the shadows. Who is framing Jason? What will Carly uncover? And how far will Drew go to get what he wants? One thing's for sure, this is just the beginning. Next, we're diving deep into the ongoing buzz about a fan-favorite character, Skye Chandler. Is she making a grand return to Port Charles? What impact would her comeback have on the current storylines? And most importantly, what do the fans think about this possibility? Stick around, because we've got all the details you need. The mystery surrounding Skye's return, is it really happening? For weeks now, speculation has been swirling about whether Skye Chandler will be making her way back to General Hospital. Fans have been scouring every available hint, analyzing cryptic social media posts, and debating whether the beloved character will once again grace our screens. So far, the show's producers have remained tight-lipped, offering no confirmation or denial about a potential return. But that hasn't stopped devoted viewers from theorizing. Given how soap operas thrive on surprise appearances, shocking revelations, and unexpected reunions, Skye's comeback wouldn't be entirely out of the question. But if Skye does return, what role would she play? Would she be inserted into one of the existing storylines, or would the writers craft an entirely new arc just for her? More importantly, what kind of drama would she bring with her? Because if there's one thing we know about Skye Chandler, it's that she never arrives in Port Charles quietly. Skye and Sunny, a romance in the making, or just wishful thinking? One of the most debated topics among fans is whether Sky could return as a love interest for Sonny Corinthos. While this pairing might sound far-fetched to some, others recall the undeniable tension that once existed between them. Despite her initial distaste for both Sonny and Carly, some fans argue that there was an undercurrent of chemistry between Sky and Port Charles's most powerful mob boss. Could a romance between these two actually work? In some ways, Sonny and Sky represent two sides of the same coin. Both have struggled with their pasts, made difficult choices, and dealt with their fair share of heartbreak. However, their personalities have always clashed, making the idea of a love story between them intriguing but volatile. But not everyone is on board with this idea. Many longtime viewers insist that Sky belongs back with the Quartermaines, rather than getting entangled in Sonny's world of crime, deception, and power struggles. The internet reacts. What are fans saying about Sky's possible comeback? As with any major soap opera speculation, fans have taken to social media to voice their opinions. The reactions have been nothing short of passionate, with some celebrating the idea of Sky's return and others setting firm boundaries on how they believe she should be written back into the show. One fan enthusiastically stated, "I want Sky back, but absolutely not with Sonny. She needs to reclaim her place with the Quartermaines. Maybe a small fling with someone at the hospital, but definitely nothing too serious outside of her Q family." Another added, "Sky forever. She is the missing link to the entire ABC soap universe. I have loved her character since All My Children when she was with Cindy and Stuart. Bringing her back would be a genius move." Some fans focused on the unresolved mysteries surrounding her character. "I'd love to have her back, but I wish she was still considered a Quartermaine. And we never found out who her real father was." That was a storyline they built up for years, only to drop it. Bringing Sky back could finally resolve that. And then, of course, there are those who admire her style and presence. "Oh, I would love for Sky to come back. She always had this incredible presence on screen. Ava reminds me a little bit of her in terms of style. Sky was always so elegant and put together. It would be amazing to see her back in Port Charles." Clearly, the demand for Sky's return is high. But will the writers listen? A possible reason for Sky's comeback, Monica Quartermaine's funeral? One of the most plausible theories surrounding Sky's potential return is that she could come back for Monica Quartermaine's funeral. Given Monica's importance to the Quartermaine family and her deep history with Sky, it would make perfect sense for her to reappear during such a major moment. Sky and Monica didn't always see eye to eye, but there was always an underlying respect between them. A funeral would not only bring Sky back to town, but it could also reignite old tensions within the family. If she does return, will she find herself welcomed with open arms, or will she be met with hostility? After all, the Quartermaines are nothing if not complicated. A lot has changed since Sky was last around, and re-establishing her place within the family may not be as simple as she hopes. What if Sky had another agenda? A secret connection to a current plotline? While many believe that Sky's return would be centered around family, what if the writers had something completely different in mind? What if she came back with a secret mission, a hidden motive, or an unexpected alliance? Could she have ties to a new villain in Port Charles? Could she be working with someone behind the scenes to take down a powerful figure, maybe even Sonny himself? Or what if she's harboring a secret about another character, a long-lost sibling, a hidden love child, or a shocking revelation that could shake Port Charles to its core? Soap operas love nothing more than a dramatic twist, and Sky's return could open the door to plenty of them. Final thoughts, will Sky actually return? At this point, everything is still just speculation. The General Hospital producers have not made any official statements about bringing Sky Chandler back. But with so much fan demand, it's clear that there is a real hunger for her return. If she does come back, the possibilities are endless. A dramatic return to the Quartermaines, possibly rekindling old rivalries, a shocking romantic pairing that no one saw coming. A major family revelation that changes everything. An unexpected alliance that throws the town into chaos. For now, all we can do is wait and see. But one thing's for sure, if Skye Chandler does return to Port Charles, it will be anything but boring. What do you think? Should Skye come back to General Hospital? And if so, how would you want her storyline to play out? Next, we're diving into a tangled web of deception, cover-ups, and murder in Port Charles. A shocking crime has been committed, and now, the biggest question remains, who will take the fall? Stick around, because we're breaking down all the explosive details of this thrilling mystery. Jason Morgan in handcuffs, will he take the fall for Cyrus murder? In a town where crime never sleeps, Jason Morgan once again finds himself at the center of a murder investigation. Cyrus Renault is dead. Everyone in Port Charles knows someone wanted him gone, but the real culprit? That's the best-kept secret in town. The PCPD, as expected, has zeroed in on their favorite suspect. If history has taught us anything, it's that whenever a crime is committed, Jason is the first name on their list. And this time, the circumstantial evidence against him is piling up. Eyewitnesses recall him threatening Cyrus in broad daylight at Charlie's, warning that no one would ever find his body. A bold statement for a man who insists he didn't pull the trigger. Even more damning, Jason had every reason to want Cyrus dead. He was the one responsible for the murder of Jason's ex-wife, Sam McCall. The police commissioner, already suspicious, never believed Jason would let that slide. And if there's one thing Port Charles law enforcement does best, it's chasing after Jason Morgan, even when they have nothing solid against him. But is Jason truly guilty this time? Or is he simply being framed for a crime that someone else committed? The cover-up, a murder without a body? The strangest part of this whole ordeal? There's no body. The moment Cyrus was shot, the scene should have been flooded with investigators, forensics teams, and flashing red and blue lights. Instead, by the time the PCPD arrived, there was absolutely no evidence that a murder had taken place at all. How is that possible? Enter Jack Brennan, the wild card in this story. The moment Cyrus hit the ground, Jocelyn Jacks didn't call Jason. She didn't call Sonny Corinthos, the man who has covered up more crimes than anyone in Port Charles history. She called Brennan. What exactly does that mean? A perfectly executed cleanup. No gun, no fingerprints, and most importantly, no body. It's as if Cyrus Renault simply vanished from existence. But here's where things get even more twisted. Brennan wasn't just covering up a crime. He was testing Jocelyn. Jocelyn Jacks, from murderer to spy? For months, Jack Brennan has had his eyes on Jocelyn Jacks, watching her every move. But it wasn't for the reasons everyone assumed. He wasn't monitoring her because of her connections to Sonny or Jason. He was grooming her for something far bigger. A position in the WSB. That's right, Brennan wasn't just helping Jocelyn erase the evidence of what she'd done. He was offering her a job. Cyrus' death was a test, a trial by fire to see how Joss would handle herself in an extreme situation. Brennan believes she has all the makings of a perfect agent, quick thinking, resourcefulness, and, most importantly, the ability to keep a secret. But here's the catch, if Jocelyn refuses his offer, will Brennan still keep her secret? Or will he turn her in to protect himself? Joss is at a crossroads. If she takes the deal, she secures her freedom, but she steps into a world of espionage, danger, and deceit. If she refuses, she risks everything. Drew Quartermaine's grudge. Will he let Jason go down for this? The one person who could clear Jason's name? Drew Quartermaine. The moment Cyrus was shot, Jason wasn't even near the crime scene. He was having a conversation with his twin brother, Drew, talking about how to co-parent and move forward for the sake of their children. But will Drew vouch for him? Absolutely not. Drew's hatred for Jason runs deep. They may share DNA, but they don't share loyalty. He would love nothing more than to see Jason locked away for good. If the police ask him to confirm Jason's alibi, he has two choices: tell the truth and save Jason's life. Stay silent and watch him go down for murder. And if we know anything about Drew, he might just choose option number 2. A crime without a killer? Who will pay the price? Here's where things stand. Cyrus Renault is dead, but without a body, there's no proof. Jason is the prime suspect, but Drew refuses to clear him. Jocelyn is the real killer, but Brennan is holding all the cards. So, what happens next? Will Jason be wrongfully convicted yet again? Will Brennan force Jocelyn into a world of espionage she never wanted? Or will a shocking new twist expose the truth before it's too late? One thing's for sure, Port Charles is in for one of its biggest scandals yet. What do you think will happen? Drop your predictions in the comments, and let's discuss. Until next time, stay tuned for more Port Charles drama.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye.